Hello and welcome to the Biotech Production in Europe. We are Group J, and I will be presenting on behalf of Amy Bates, David Crofton, Patrick Farrell, Kate Scully, myself, Melanie Waldron, and Helena Walsh. So we hope to make this a very quick presentation for you, just to give you an overview of what we've presented today. So with the executive summary, we're going to be looking at the current biotech manufacturing operations based in France. We're going to be looking at the Assess Lithuania as a possible new location, biotech industry overview, pest analysis, ease of doing business, financial analysis, of course, the startup operational and profitability numbers, and productivity improvements, as well as conclusion and recommendations. So we're going to start off with which country, moving on to ease of doing business, why we've chosen Lithuania, pest analysis, highlights of Lithuania, transport and logistical and labour numbers, and more information on the biotech industry, competitive advantage, and project financial analysis on why we've done it, why we've chosen Lithuania, and the conclusion. So the first thing that we look at is we do a country comparison with the three different countries on the ease of doing business and why we have chosen these countries. So we've taken the ease of doing business parameters as starting a business, registering property taxes, paying taxes, resolving insolvency, dealing with permits, getting credit, trading across borders, electricity, correcting minority investments, and enforcing contracts. So the overall ease of doing business between all these countries, you can see here, we've just moved to the last slide, that Lithuania does come out on top. So it has, to get more information on these graphs, you can just right-click on the right, and you can edit that in the actual presentation. But you can see here, Lithuania, in the blue one here, is number one in the ease of doing business. So other reasons for choosing Lithuania: the population is 2.8 million. It has excellent infrastructure. They use euro, and it has a very low tax system with low operating costs. It's ranked number 11th in the world of rapidly developing economies, and it has the best educated people in Central and Eastern Europe. So the taxes are quite low, so 15% corporate tax. With the capital, Lithuania is Vilnius, and the second largest city is Kaunas. And Lithuania, of course, is located in between Latvia and Russia, and is easily accessed from Central Europe, and they are a member of the EU. We've also done a pest analysis. Sorry, go back there. So we've done it with the political state, economic state, and socio-cultural state, and what the technology looks like as well. So politically, you can see just the highlights there. It's accelerated international trade and greater production. Has a global economic activity has grown. There's more economic policies that facilitate imports. It has great treaties for double treaty agreements with 53 different countries. Kaunas is the free economic state zone. OECD income is high. Equal protection laws protect investors just as much as local investors. 90% of Lithuania speaks a foreign language, and the culture is influenced by Nordic, Slavic, and Germany. The climate is a midway climate between maritime and continental. In January, the average daytime climate is -3, rising to July is over 20 degrees. So Lithuania has a biotech sector. It's very focused on biosector and has been the most recognized as most developed in Central Europe. 90% of their biotech is exported worldwide, and the government supports this kind of research very heavily as well. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the transport and logistics. So Lithuania is the leader in this region's logistical performance. It is centrally located with 3 markets, so it's in between the Nordic countries, Western and Russia. EU is Lithuania is one of the EU primary transport hubs. So its location is perfect for logistics and easy accessible through transport. The transport and logistics account for 12.3% of this GDP, and the sector employs over 100,000 workers. The transport services export to more than 110 countries worldwide. So the roads are fantastic in Lithuania, the best roads in the region, and Lithuanian government is committed to investing in 145 million into the highway system and 100 million into the 4 public logistical centres. They have multiple transport channels, such as the seaport at, I won't pronounce that, but it has a seaport, trans-European corridors and rail networks, international airports. So logistically, it's very well organised. The competitive advantage is that it has excellent logistical infrastructure, more so than any other country in Europe. It has complex and innovative logistic solutions to match the company needs. So any company can utilize their solutions. High quality standards compliant with EU and Asia, and it has excellent geographic locations for the distribution centres. So all the distribution centres are set up in the key areas in Lithuania. So from the 1st of July 2017, a new version of the Lithuanian Labour Code came into force. So it focused on liberalisation of employment relations by making them more flexible. So it's making employers, it's making employers the laws more flexible for employers, reducing an administration burden for employers, so therefore encouraging foreign investment in Lithuania. And you've seen that one of the previous slides on the ease of doing business. The average wage in Lithuania is €400 per month or $2.45 per hour. So to talk a little bit about the biotech industry, so Lithuania's biotech has been growing by about 22% yearly for the past year, according to the Lithuanian Biotech Association. The aim of biotech industry is to promote biotech science. The biotech industry is, as I said, growing in Europe. In 2004, Lithuania obtained full membership of the European Union. It was incorporated into NATO, which meant Lithuania is now aligning itself with the US. The government is committed to investing in the biotech industry. In 2017, the government Business Science signed a resolution to make Lithuania the hub of health and biotech innovations in Europe, which is very important. The workforce in Lithuania is very skilled, and there's an increased number of foreign companies investing in the bio industry due to the natural monopoly since the fall of the Soviet Union. Lithuania has a very strong cluster in the biotech firms. So in business, clustering is a way to promote collaboration between businesses and communities and research. Several business research centres located in Vilnius University, and there's 2 major universities located in Vilnius. So it's Vilnius University and Vilnius Tech University. Several advanced experts who specialise in the field of biotech are located in Lithuania, and Lithuania has a well-developed biotech sector, and several champions in biotech have returned to Lithuania and are based in Vilnius Institute of Biotech. So the objective of our lean management is competitive advantage, cycle time, supplier loyalty, workaround process, and rogue spend. The key approaches to lean is the show customer centricity, internal customer supply relations. Perfection is the goal. Synchronize flow, reduce variation, include all people, and waste elimination. So managers must adopt a sustainable plan for implementation. So it's nice to say one thing, but it's very important to act, plan, check, do. So it has to be implemented by the managers. The plan is dependent on managers' completion adaptation of the PDCA cycle, in addition to continual coaching of staff to maintain this act through its day-to-day activities. So it has to be managed all the time. It allows for complete control over how processes are implemented, recorded, improved, or sustained, creating traceability within the firm's process. An overview of the lean management and how the eco-friendliness of it. To future-proof any potential move to any either country, it is prudent to examine the environmental factors to ensure the move will be profitable and not incur any unnecessary costs due to the EU regulations to environmental change. The CO2 emissions in Lithuania are declining, and renewable energy amounts for 25% of production. So you can see it's already exceeding its European 2020 target. However, it's failing to comply with EU wastewater treatment standards. Ireland and France are both behind in these standards so far. There is a plan for increased pressure from the EU as it attempts to make the EU carbon neutral by 2050. So using the recommended circular economy model to reduce waste and need for new resources, which is on the rise in the EU. So Lithuania's CO2 emission was 14.2 million tonnes in 2012, compared to Ireland or France emitted 38 and 363.3 million tonnes, respectively, in 2012, which is massive. So Lithuania is doing quite well on CO2 emissions. There could be opportunity to avail of funds from the Lithuanian Innovation Development Programme as R&D for 2014 to 2012 for low emission transport, and planning for environment regulations will now synchronise flow and reduce variations, which will minimise losses in time, money, waste in the years to come. So quick overview of the financials. You can see the chart on the right hand side. You have the exact numbers on that. Lithuania is the perfect plant location with 3-year startup project, no revenue generated with upfront costs of 5.4 million. 3 countries were considered in the analysis: Ireland, France and Lithuania. Building and equipment assets are the same costs. Lands is twice more expensive in Ireland and Lithuania, in Ireland versus Lithuania. And future value of money must be considered with a minimum 5% return required. So 5% return over 13 years is 1.8 future value multiplier. We looked at the operations overview. So operations commence from year 4 of 13 project. Lithuania has operational cost average versus France and Ireland, which have similar costings. Significant labour and overhead cost savings. With Lithuania, overhead is 65% cost in all cases. So labour is one of the most expensive costs in the overview analysis that we've done. So 2.9 million savings in Lithuania over 10 years operational activities. And with the profit, the summary, profit summary for 10 years of operations, the Lithuania is 10.5 million net profit, and which is 3.4 million greater than the nearest country of interest. Lithuania has 0% corporate tax for the first 6 years, followed by 7.5 for the next 10 years. So it's 50% discount. Ireland has attracted a corporate tax rate of 12.5 full duration of operational phase, but Lithuania is still coming out more attractive. So here's our numbers, just an overview of our numbers and startup costs. You can slow that down and have a look at it in more detail. And we're going to give you our conclusion with this. So Lithuania is the 11th in the world's rapidly developing economy with the best education infrastructure in Central and Eastern Europe. Equal protection laws protects foreign investment, and Lithuania's biotech sector recognised as most developed in Central Europe. So they have excellent geographic locations combined with proven and highly developed transport infrastructure. Lithuania plans to make itself the hub of health and biotech innovations by Europe, demonstrated by a resolution signed in 2017 by government and industry leaders within the country. And Lithuania is exceeding the EU targets for renewable energy, unlike Ireland and France, which are falling way behind. So this will be extremely beneficial to companies in Lithuania as the EU aims to be carbon neutral by 2050. Thank you for listening to the presentation. Sorry it's gone a bit long, and we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.